One way that my dad and I used to spend time together was to go to Knicks games at Madison Square Garden. And for anyone that's familiar with the Knicks, they'd know how uniquely terrible a basketball team they are. So, when my dad and I would attend the games, we would have plenty of time to talk, joke, and most importantly, enjoy all of the stadium food that my mom desperately prevented us from eating. Now, one Knicks game, my dad and I sat a little bit farther up than usual in the stadium. As the game passed, I watched as random people in the crowd were picked for special challenges and half-court shots during the timeouts and commercial breaks. Being one of those selected participants was my dream, and I pulled on my dad's sweatshirt, nagging him about how cool it would be. Of course, my attorney father was way too rational and didn't dare to engage my ridiculous aspirations. However, when the next timeout was called, a man in a referee jersey emerged from behind our nosebleed seats and tapped my dad on the shoulder. Before I could even register what was happening, my dad and I were being escorted to the main court in Madison Square Garden for the Super Shot Challenge. My dad was 60 at the time, with a full head of white hair, what he likes to call the price you pay of having a daughter. They escorted us to the tunnel where the players enter the court. There, the staff dressed me entirely in Knicks gear, while also snapping pictures of me with the Knicks City dancers. Then it was finally showtime. They brought my dad out onto the court where he was received with massive applause for the Super Shot Challenge. He had to make 10 layups in 2 minutes or less. After they announced the challenge, the audience began to cheer, "Come on, old man," or "You can do it, Grandpa." My dad just smiled and walked onto the court. Clearly, it was unknown to both the Knicks staff as well as the roaring fans that my dad was a college basketball player. The ref screamed, "Go," and my dad began the challenge, completing it with ease. The crowd went wild as this so-called grandpa made the challenge look easy. Confetti erupted on the sidelines, and I ran out onto the court to hug my dad. The referee shockingly looked to my dad and presented the free tickets to the next game that he had just won. I loved watching him pleasantly surprise the entire audience that day at our favorite bonding activity. Needless to say, I think the Knicks staff learned to never judge a book by its cover, if they at least don't want to be giving out free tickets at every halftime show.